Rangers, how are you doing? It's a girl, Owamie, aka the only Miss Focal in this YouTube street. If it's your first time joining me, I was definitely welcome. Please do make sure that I subscribe and say hit the bell. I absolutely love it. And do not forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. It's at Boldly Owamie. Now, my ninjas, you guys know how it goes. If you want to start a new podcast, if you want to shoot anything, if you want a videographer, Mupandi Studios is here for you. We can shoot, edit, upload, do your thumbnails. We can run your entire channel, okay? All you have to do is come shoot, pay us, and go shine, okay? So there are numbers over there. Make sure that you contact them. Send a WhatsApp and my team will communicate with you guys, okay? Now, before I even start this video, I want to go ahead and say I'm going to be talking about Promise Makunyane in this video, okay? If you have an issue with me talking about Promise Makunyane, or you have stroke or heart attack, your BP goes high, I wouldn't want that for you, okay? I appreciate the views you give me, but your health matters more to me. So I will ask you to excuse yourself from watching this video, and then you can watch other videos that will actually come, but trust me, I'm doing this because I care about you and I also care about your health. So if I see you in BP in my comment section, I will just know you don't love yourself, because why would you want to put yourself through that? So the reason why I'm putting this disclaimer that I'm going to be talking about Promise Makunyane is because in case you clicked on this video accidentally, not knowing that we're going to be talking about Promise Makunyane, and now your BPs are up. But if you still are in my comment section after this, and you're still in my comment section, like, I don't even want to, because why are you putting yourself through this trauma and torture? But anyway, for all the ninjas that are interested in watching this video, let's go ahead and get into this chende. This video was supposed to come yesterday, but honestly, I had an emergency and I had to rush out my studio and go attend to the emergency. But you know what? It's fine, because I get to shoot this now and you guys will get this first thing in the morning. Now, ninjas, we are going to be talking about Promise Makunyane. We are going to be talking about her husband, or her alleged ex-husband. And we're also going to talk about a beautiful lady by the name of Shoki, who is Promise Makunyane's husband. Let's go ahead and just say husband. I don't know how to call this man, because this man keeps refusing when people say Promise Makunyane's husband. So I don't know. Let me just go ahead and say Mr. Makunyane. Let me not insult this man. Looking at the fact that last time he made sure that he was responding to people that say Promise's husband, and he was like, no, I don't want to traumatize this man any further. I think he might have gone through enough trauma already. But anyway, we're going to be talking about his baby mama, who is the one that when it came to my husband this, my husband that, she was the one that was insulted, okay? Actually, me standing up for this woman that I didn't even know, actually I didn't stand up for her, I stood up for her child, is the reason why, my girl, that was right after, before, and then after that, she had to go to Friede to interview that slow nigga, you know. But, you know, I digress. Let's go ahead and get into this today. Guys, I will not even lie. Like, for me, there's a certain level of evil that I just look at and I'm like, something has to be really wrong with you. Like something big has to be wrong with you as an individual, as a person. Now, I know that there are people that have been upset over what Promise did to me, obviously driving to Friede and interviewing my ex-husband and claiming that this man is not a narcissist from literally like what, 2-3 hours of her just meeting this man. And, you know, basically saying praises of a man that I knew for over 9 years. As if like she knew him better, because anything to defend insults, it doesn't even matter whose man that is. Like, girl, it's just a man defender. Like, when it comes to men, defend. Like, she would defend men too. I don't know, you know. But anyway, after hearing this story, I'm just like, what she did to me is nothing. It's just a tip of an iceberg compared to what she actually did to this lady. I'm shocked. Like, guys, I am shocked. So this beautiful lady by the name of Shoki and went to Tobela FM, and she had an episode there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm sure maybe I'll put a screenshot somewhere. You guys can see that. If I remember, I will link the episode. But this particular episode was talking about forcing men to support their children. Ciao. Forcing men to support their children. Now, the whole episode was in I wouldn't necessarily know the language. I don't know if I would say Setswana or Sepedi because I kind of confused them a bit. But I had everything because Gabua, Gabulela, Gaupa. I understand, so I can hear. So thankfully for you guys, I was able to actually sit down, and yes, I do come back. This time it's not a journal. It's this shibubu. So I did write down stuff because I honestly just did not want to forget and leave anything out from the interview, so that anything that was important basically, so that you guys can actually like just understand the level of inhumanity, like the level of evil that was done to this beautiful woman right here. And again, everything that I'm gonna say my opinions. I am in South Africa. I do have freedom of speech, and for me, this is what real evil looks like. Like that is what pure evil looks like. But anyway, let's go ahead and start. So from what she's saying, and mind you guys, I was on TikTok, and that is when somebody took a screenshot of the episode and commented under one of my videos, and people were commenting under there. At first I saw the screenshot, but I was like, what is this? I passed. But because people kept on commenting under that, I was like, wait, let me go check this. And oh my goodness, it was a full episode of Shoki actually talking about her journey and her struggle when it came to her having to force her baby daddy to support the child. Now, who's the baby daddy? None other than Mr. Lawrence Makunyane, who is, yes, the one that you guys know, Mr. Law, for Mrs. Law, who is Promise Makunyane, my husband this, my husband that. So she says that she dated Mr. Makunyane and she fell pregnant, right? So they were obviously together. She did say that, the relationship as couples, you do have your ups and downs. But she says that at one point they were even living together. Even living together. Now, when you get to a point where you're living with a man, like that relationship is not just small chicken relationship. It does a fully developed relationship where you guys are even staying together. You guys are even expecting. She takes it a step further to say that we were actually looking for a bigger place because the family was growing. They were now having a little one on the way. And she says that they actually were even looking at houses. And this was not just an idea. This was not something that they just sat down and said, hey, we should actually start looking for a bigger place or a house. She says they actually went house shopping. Like they were looking for places that were bigger. Now, please tell me if this is not a fully grown, groomed relationship. Like this is you are with your partner, you are pregnant, everything is fine, you're looking at places. She says that this man had even said he wanted to buy her a car so that obviously she would travel easy with the child and everything. And she believed that everything was fine. Now, obviously, I watched this. I did write down stuff just to make sure that I will remember everything. So I will tell you guys everything so that the story flows. And then if I miss something, then I'll actually go back and check my list to see if there's something that I missed. But now, let me get my creative hat on and let me just tell you guys this change. So she says that December comes. When December comes, she tells Mr. Law that, listen, of course, like, she says it's a tradition basically back at her home that they go home whenever it's Christmas or like they break into the new year together as a family. She says that Mr. Law, who is her boyfriend and her baby daddy at that time, or soon to be because she was pregnant, he says that he's not gonna be going home. She did actually say that they are all from Groblersdal, if I'm not too mistaken, right? So she says, okay, if you're not gonna be going home for festives, that is fine. She went on to go home. So she says on the 31st, you should just imagine on the 31st, it seems like they were in sort of like a quantum, and she had her cousins and other people, and they decided that they're gonna go to a Shisanyama, right? Mind you, our girl is heavily pregnant at this point, right? Somewhere between 6 to 7 months pregnant, if I'm not mistaken. So she says that when they parked next to this beautiful brand new car. So she says the car did catch my eye, because this was the car that my boyfriend had been talking about, to say he wanted to get a car like this. So she looked at it with an eye of admiration to say, oh wow, like such a beautiful car. This is the car that my man's obviously wants, you know. She says that next thing she sees, it's one of her cousins running to her saying that go back. And she's like, what's going on? The cousin is like, listen, calm down, calm down. She's like, calm down for what? Next thing she says her boyfriend walking out with none other than, yes, you know who, madam. Out from the Shisanyama. So obviously I understand language, unless if there's someone that I missed it, but that's how like the story kind of went, right? So she says that like I was really just shocked, like what on earth is actually happening here, you know? Obviously, they are going where she says that she just saw, of course, the lights of the brand new car, twing, 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 and it's like, what? It's her man, the same man that is supposed to be in Gauteng while she's at home. He's now coming out of the Shisanyama with this girl. Now, she says that, of course, she was in disbelief. They did actually go back. Doesn't seem like she caused any trouble. And she says that, of course, she went to sleep the following day. Her neighbors came running. Girl, have you seen? Seen what? It's all over Facebook. Your man, your boyfriend, the one you are having a child with, is in a new relationship. He rekindled things with his ex. So she says that it was a very tough time for her, because number one, she's heavily pregnant. Number two, she doesn't know what happened, because everything was fine when she left Gauteng. Like, girl, what do you mean? Like, me and my man, we never fought. So she has not really gotten any answers or anything. And now he's in a new relationship with his ex, and she's obviously like, they're just like, I'm not understanding what is going on here. I can just imagine the pain and confusion, you know. She goes on to say that for a few years, whenever it was New Year, she would have crippling anxiety, because she was like, I wonder what this new year holds for me after the trauma that she experienced during that time, you know. Now, she says that, of course, she had to call her boyfriend. She called her boyfriend, bro, what's going on? Like, what's happening? I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. She says that Mr. Law actually said to her, well, she wasn't mentioning names, but that's actually the baby mama, right? So, well, from what I hear. But anyway, she says that Mr. Law now says that, listen, I have nothing to say to you. You should just talk to me when the child is born. And that was it. Now, of course, you know, at home, they're going to definitely ask, like, hey, when are the people coming, you know, to say that you're pregnant, this and that? And of course, they were not, because now the guy is not even in communication with her. So her family, they decide to say, okay, I mean, these are people from the same area. We are going to go and we are going to talk to them to say, hey, listen, your son has impregnated our daughter. So, you know, what's supposed to happen now? They go there. His family says that, well, he has not said anything to us, so we are going to talk to him, ask him, and then we're going to get back to you. And she says that the getting back part, I guess, is still on the way. Child, this woman has gone through a lot. So she goes on to give birth. After she gives birth, she says that she told him, and I think if I got it right, she said that when the child was 1 week old, that is when Mr. Law now demanded a DNA test. When he demanded a DNA test, the test was done when the baby was 3 weeks old. And she says that, she didn't even say anything at home. She didn't tell her parents, nothing. And the reason for that, she just said that I just felt like my mom was going to refuse. I mean, it is a huge level of disrespect. I will not even lie. And I know that there are people that are saying, no, that is nothing. People should a woman should never feel insulted if a man wants a DNA test, blah, blah, blah. Me personally, if you are my man and we fall pregnant and you ask me for a DNA test, if you're my husband, the results will be accompanied by a divorce, 1,000%. Like, what the hell do you mean? Don't disrespect me to that level. If you are my boyfriend, you instantly turn into my baby daddy. Like, I don't play those games. Yes, we strict like that over here. It's a huge level of disrespect. So what are you saying? Are you saying I'm a hoe? Are you saying I don't know who my baby daddy is? If I'm saying you're the father, are you saying that I don't know who? And mind you guys, these people were staying together at one point. So them going to view houses and this and that, whose child did you think that was? But anyway, she says that the results came a week after, which I guess the child was now a month. And they called her to say the results are back. She says that I told them, listen, I don't want the results. Call him and tell him. He's the one that actually paid for the result for the DNA test anyway, mind you, right? Said call him and tell him. So they called him, they told him the results. He never called her to get back. So now she says that I call him to say, listen, did they call you with the results? He says yes. And she says, listen, I just want us to now talk about how is the child gonna get supported. Now, obviously, like timelines and everything, but they do get married. Promise Makunyane and Mr. Law, they do get married. When they do get married, this man now tells her to say that he is now a married man. So if he needs anything, if she needs anything for the child, she needs to communicate with his wife. What? For me, it's different. Like, for me, it is definitely different. Let me tell you something. For me, there's a difference between if I'm meeting, let's say I was a baby mama, right? And then I already have a child with this man and we broke up and he met someone, right? And they date, they get married, and then after that, I meet up, like me personally, the type of person that I am, I wouldn't mind meeting up with my baby daddy's new wife. I wouldn't mind. Like, I'd be like, okay, I want to meet you. I want us to talk. I'd also want to see the type of person that my child is going to be around, because clearly if he's someone that is involved in his child's life, she's also going to be involved. Like, personally, I wouldn't even have a problem. If he says that, listen, now that I'm married, if you need anything, you can communicate with her, that would be so well received by me. I wouldn't even have an issue with that. But I think I would definitely have an issue if I was in a relationship with you. You then cheat on me. You cheat on me whilst I'm pregnant. And you decide that you're going to go back to your ex. I don't care if you've dated that person before or not. Fact of the matter is, you now went behind my back because you never sat me down and said, hey, this relationship is over. I don't want to be with you anymore. I had to find out myself. Definitely, yes, I have a problem with that, and I'm not going to be communicating with that. No, I'm just not going to. She says that the life that they'd planned, it seems like it was now given to this new girl, who now went on to get the car, who now went on to get the house, who now went on. And of course, like, I'm sure that was something that was not easy whatsoever. And also looking at how this girl has been so loud, I think it now started to just make sense to me, and we're going to still get into it. So she says that, she was told that anytime she wants anything, she should talk to my wife. Now, she says that I did tell him that, listen, I didn't make a child with your wife. I made a child with you. So I don't know what arrangement you have in your household, but I'm not going to play your games. I just want you to support the child. Now, she does say that, the child did go on to get supported. But then whenever money was sent to her, she says that the money was sent through Promise account, because she said the wife, and of course the wife is Miss Law, to her account. And she, of course, like at this point, she's not gonna have an issue. She is just trying to move on with her life and pick up the pieces. She says it was not easy, and I can just imagine because they all are from Koblasdal. They're all from the same area, you know. So she says that she was topic of the village, not even to say topic of the town. I think if it's topic of the town, it's something better because it's like town a village yona. It's like talk of the village. When people are in their bus, they talk about her going down, going up. It was a thing. It was a huge thing, you know. So obviously the child gets supported. All of a sudden the child just stops for a full year. Not even a cent is sent to her. This man is not supporting the child. You understand? So she said that at that time she was working, so she was just like, I was not emotionally ready to take on the maintenance route and everything, because you do need to be emotionally ready, which I do honestly agree. You do need to be emotionally ready and emotionally strong. I've been there with my sister for years, and it takes you through different levels of pain, different levels of realization. Sorry. Now, for me, I think it's a bit easier for us because it's our father. You know, he never had that relationship with us. He had that relationship with our mom, who I guess she is the one that probably would feel betrayed. I just can't imagine like having to now take somebody that you both know you laid together to court for child support. I think that would actually really, it is triggering. She did say it, that I think for me it would definitely be very triggering, you know. So she says that unfortunately during COVID, she lost her job. And when she lost her job, she was now at a point where she really had no choice but now having to go after this man to support the child because she was not working. Now, mind you guys, to show you like that this woman is so peaceful, to show you like how this woman, like she's definitely way peaceful. Like she's too peaceful for me. A full year with you not supporting. A full year. I don't play those games. That man would have seen the court in a speed light like that, you know. So she says that after that year, she now had to start the process. She says that they had to hunt this man down. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but you need to know how you need to hunt somebody. They would send letters that would not come back. You know, they would try everything that they would, to a point where she had to leave Limpopo, guys, to come to Gauteng to try get Mr. Makunyane, hunt him down. She had to even have police for them to find him. And then after they found him, that's when he got served. And then that is when he started now supporting the child, which should show you that it means even the time that they chose not to support the child, they had means they just chose not to. And when I say they, I'm talking about husband and wife, because at this point, we all know that they were married in community of property. Now, there have been rumors that, you know, they wanted to move it from community of property to out of community. But when I say they, is because at that time, I think there was still a they, okay, in community of property and everything. Do you understand? So it means that they had the means to support the child. They were just choosing not to. Like, for me, that is a level of evil that I can't even. You know, even the Bible says that he who doesn't support his family is worse than a sinner. And I've never seen any other scripture that talks of what is worse than a sinner, because we all know that sin is what leads you to hell. So if you don't support your family, it means your hell should really honestly be under hell. Because if you're worse than a sinner, like, that is the highest level of evil, in my opinion. It pisses me off so much, because yes, it is a personal thing for me. You understand? But anyway, she went on, and that's how she now forced her baby daddy to support the child. Now, let's start off with this whole story for you guys to understand. This gorgeous, classy businesswoman, because she is in business, she never went to sleep with anyone's husband. And at the time, she wasn't dating anyone's boyfriend from what she knew. This was her boyfriend. Everyone has exes, guys. Like, okay, let me not say everyone. But majority of these people, of everyone in this world, we all have exes. It's either ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends. We all have exes. So if someone is gonna say, no, I dated that guy, I'm marking him, no one should go date him. Udom. You are stupid. I'm not even going to lie. Udom kwa poshe. Because you don't mark anyone. You do not. And mind you guys, this child that this lady was pregnant with was not even his first. That was his second child from what we hear. He does have a child with another woman who, when Promise met that man, that woman had a 1-year-old. So now imagine if that woman was to come back and say, this is my man. Yeah, we dated, we broke up, but that is my man. That is the father of my child. It doesn't make sense. You understand? So, Ushogi, the only sin that she did was to believe a man. Like how everybody does. And the reason why I'm saying this is because let's now fast track to my husband this, my husband that. Ciao. When I tell you that Promise Makunyane sat on that with some questionably IQ'd people, in my personal opinion, I would say there's one woman that I saw, no, ma'am, your IQ level seems to be thriving, because at least she had the guts to ask a valid question. Promise went on to sit there and claimed that Shoki was after her since 2015. Now, if we are dating, remember, a man, a woman, you belong to Jesus until you're married. You belong to Jesus until you're married. That's what you guys have said, right? And I know there are people that disagree, but I don't know what to do anymore, because I've told you guys, stop dating people's husbands. I used to say stop dating people's boyfriends, and you were like, what? Boyfriend, he belongs to Jesus until he marries you. So I was like, okay, that is fine. That is fair, actually. When he has not married you, he belongs to Jesus until you marry him. You understand? Or he marries you. So, okay, that is fine. Now, Promise Makunyane went on to marry this man, which means that she was the one that he chose to go and show to his family, and I don't know if they do the ancestral thing, introduce her to the ancestors, or if they do the Christian, introduce her to Jesus, and of course handed over there. Now they are husband and wife. The question that I'm having now is, you have now gotten the man that you knew his girlfriend at that time was pregnant. Why do you have to still continue even talk about this woman like she was less of? Promise, when it came to my husband this, my husband that, she went on to say that this lady, this beautiful lady, was after her. She claims that, now when she broke up with her boyfriend, her friends advised her to say, Tsamaya Mole. Like, go there. Those were her words, Tsamaya Mole. As if her husband was not the one that was approaching. These two, mind you, were in a relationship that was so well cooked that at one point they were even staying together. From what the interview says. So, what are you talking about? These people were even planning to get a house because they knew they had a little one coming. She went on to make it well known that he told me that he wasn't even sure if this child was mine or not, because what she did to Promise, she was also doing it elsewhere. And then somebody that was sitting next to Promise said, oh, so it's her thing. But yes, it's her thing. Hi, guys. Which thing is that? Which thing is that? And the part that I hate is the fact that girl never came back to us and actually said, well, anyway, he did do a DNA test. And yes, the child is his. Because clearly, she was never going to send any money to that woman if that child was not her husband's and the DNA test had proven. But I I find it so shocking that miraculously that part was omitted from Promise's mouth when she was sitting there, my husband this, my husband that, shaming this poor woman and making it seem like she was after her husband and her husband had no part to play in it. Cha, can you believe I actually have some wines here, but I've not been drinking because like this story for me is so shocking. She goes on to do my husband this, my husband that, and she's talking about this woman and she's making it seem like this woman was just sleeping with different men. Because if you are gonna say that we don't know who the father is, that's what my man told me. And then when you say it's because she was also doing it with another person, which meant she was sleeping with another person as well, that really honestly like gives it, we all now have to stay behind it and be like, wait, I wonder, is that child even his or not? Because why would you not confirm? Because the DNA test was done a long time ago. She knew even when sitting there that the DNA test was done and it came back and it confirmed that that is his child. Why didn't she talk about that? She now goes on to say, yeah, now with the lady, they were busy going back and forth, and the lady said, Oksala, you're still gonna support our children, which is true. And I'm just asking myself, when did the stopping of the supporting the child start? Was it after maybe she had said that? Because she said, Promise herself, said that I'm going to support my husband's first child. Your child? Haiye, hakamatrokis. That's exactly what she said. And that's where I had an issue. I was like, no. And at the end of the day, let me tell you something. The internet is for everyone. If you're going to bring rubbish to the internet, we'll address that rubbish on the internet. We're not going to do it privately, because I know that people that will be like, oh, then why didn't you just go back and, maybe why did you even have to talk about it? It's rubbish on the internet. We're never going to sit down. Even you, if you feel what I'm saying is rubbish, go address it on the internet, because I'm putting this on the internet. Like literally, that is exactly how it is. That's when I had an issue with it. I'm like, but from the story that she was saying, because remember, this is before I actually had even seen this episode. This episode was uploaded like 3 months ago, if I'm not too mistaken, because I'm only also coming across this episode and hearing all this stuff, which is a completely different version of what Promise actually spoke about, I was like, girl, but at the end of the day, that's your husband's child. Like, how is it that you're gonna not want to support your husband's child? A child that was conceived in your absence. Sure, you came back into the picture when the lady was pregnant, which again, I've had so many people actually say that when they were pregnant, any bad thing that was done to them, like, is something that is embroidered in their mind. Like, all the pain, all the hurt, all the everything that was done to them when they were pregnant, like, it's something super, super painful. You understand? It's stuff that they even remember, like, vividly. It's stuff that cannot leave their mind. I can't imagine what this woman had to go through. And knowing ukuthi Promise upapa kanjani ngoba shame, I won't lie, that's my opinion, uyapapa. Same when I'm ngiyapapa, I'm sure to other people, but uyapapa nje. I just can't imagine like the stuff that she would have been posting. And she knew exactly what she was doing. She said it in that whole my husband this, my husband that. She said that she went back to her man because that was her man. He was supposed to be her husband back in 2016. So she did it. And then like, I'm doing that for that. That's when at least one intelligent person that I saw there, in my opinion, actually came out and said, so when you actually went back and married him, hulaya. Like, were you doing it to, I guess, punish, or I don't know who hulaya in English, how I can put it. And she said, no, because he was supposed to be my husband in 2016. So he's my husband. She thought I was gonna stop and not marry my husband because when you did me again, she's wrong because that's my husband. And I'm just sitting here like, my goodness. High chances are you'll find that this woman, Promise, was not even in her mind. She was just with a man that told her whatever he said to her. So for me, I was just honestly shocked. I really honestly truly was very, very shocked at this whole thing. And the fact that when she said Hakamatorokis, she meant it to a child, an innocent soul that knows nothing. You would sit there and say you are a woman. You would sit there and say you have a receipt of, the rubbish. Well, anyway, let me not say the rubbish. I'm just not too comfortable saying it. But you have a receipt called labor ward you. But you would sit there and not have at least mercy. A woman that does not have a receipt called labor ward as how you would want to, would actually show more emotion towards a child she doesn't know than you that has. For me, it's a level of evil that I cannot explain. An adult that beefs a child, an innocent child. Guys, you need to do better. You honestly need to do better. You need to do better. Because even this child being supported, it wasn't out of free will. As the mother said, they only started supporting again after the court papers, and they knew that if they don't, he could get arrested. Now, one of my other biggest disappointment was when this whole thing was happening, where, Hakamatorokisi and whatnot, people were obviously like sitting there and asking Urimara, what does your husband say when it comes to all these things that you talk about? And she claimed that her husband was behind the cameras. And that was the day. Like, of course, Mr. Law has done stuff that we've heard that are like, that would make someone lose respect. But that was the day that I lost all respect for that man as a man. All respect. And I'm not only just saying it now. If you have watched my previous videos, I've said this. I've said it. I can't respect a person who would sit and be okay with his wife saying Hakamatorok is to your own blood. And then it goes on to get edited and it's left in there where your child is going to see that and hear that my father was actually behind the camera of this rubbish being spoken. And then it goes on to be published to an international platform. Like the whole world can watch that video. For me, it didn't sit well with me. It really honestly didn't sit well with me. I didn't know her. I don't know her. I've never even seen the picture of the child. But when it comes to children, no, I am from a village. It takes a village. Which means if you see that they are doing wrong there, we should talk about it. We should talk about it. So she wasn't even joking. Actually, her husband went on to stop supporting the child. They had to be taken to court in order for them to support the child. And that is why now the baby mama is even on a show talking about having to force a father to support his own child. Now, let me tell you something, guys. Do you really think God is going to look at you with an eye of, let me bless you? Think about it. Do you? I now understand why the businesses fail. I now understand why the money had to go. I now understand. Like, I truly now understand. She has come out herself and said that, her husband financially things are not okay. And she was saying that she was happy about that because when he had money, she claimed, Uri, the same man, you would draw him. She didn't say exactly the words, but sorry guys, I had to start again. But now I truly honestly will say that I do understand why the money, the cars, the house, everything, like all those luck stuff had to go, because she did say that the husband hit a financial dip and she was happy about that, because at least I guess maybe the cheating was now not as bad as before. Like, when I tell you guys, there are certain things that not even the FBI would get out of me. Like, it's changing like that. Like, that's humiliating. What do you mean you'd rather your husband has no money or not as much money? Because when he has money, this nigga gone. You understand? So, now for me, I think this is just one of those stuff that when I watched this episode, I really truly was shocked, and I really truly felt so sorry for this woman. After all the trauma that she went through, after all the trauma that she went through, after everything that was done to her, on top of that, to rub salt into all the wounds that she has gone through, the trouble, the up and down that she had to go through in order for her to just get her child supported, she had to come and get insulted on the internet. Let me tell you another statement that Promise said on that video. She went on to say, she said what? Because I think I wrote that down just so that you guys can hear. And I saw that I was like, something is wrong with this girl. She said that the girl is not a big person. She said, yeah, she's from a well-known family. So she claimed that this lady was the one that was feeding Queen Lee, because she called Queen Lee, she said who? This Magogo or something, like, but something that was age shaming, because Queen Lee came out and said that I'm not the one that married a man when his girlfriend was 7 months pregnant. And then she claimed that this lady was the one that was feeding Queen Lee this information. But looking at everything and how it was done, of course, like the whole Kroblas Dal at this point probably knew what happened. So you think it couldn't have been any other person, but she took it and she directed it to this poor woman because she's always had a problem with her. She found a time and a place and she had the platform to sit there and degrade her. Made her seem like she was just a loose girl that didn't even know who her baby daddy was. Didn't go on to mention that a DNA was requested and the child is my husband's. So what proof do you have that it's actually that lady that told Queen Lee? As I'm hearing, Kroblas Dal was buzzing with this whole Chende. So what are you talking about? Now, the only thing is that she met, because the way that even Shoki speaks, like you can see that she's someone that she doesn't seem like she wants drama. She doesn't seem like she wants any, she's a very respectable woman. She's a businesswoman. She just doesn't want any drama. But let me tell you something, if that rubbish was done to me, she was going to regret the day. Yay! She was gonna regret shame because now I'm not the one. You will not abuse. That one is not going to happen, shame. You can move on, but it will never be in peace. It will be in pieces. I'm telling you. Because what do you mean? Like she moved on, she left you. I've never even seen this woman actually speak about them. Like the fact that is Mr. Makunyane's baby mama. If somebody didn't comment this under my TikTok video, I wouldn't even know. Because even there, she never mentioned Promise's name. She never mentioned her baby daddy's name. To show you that she was just there to share her story and it had nothing to do with any other person. But this madam wanted everybody to know that that girl was just this, she was that. In that whole entire video, where did she ever hold her own husband accountable? Nowhere. And now let me tell you something, Shibubu. Let me tell you something. A good man will never ever put you in a position where you have to fight with another woman for him. If anytime you find there are women fighting for a man, that's a trash man. I said what I said. He is trash. If you are now in a situation where you're having to fight for a man, trust and believe you're fighting for trash, because a good man will never ever put you in that position. He will never ever put you in that situation where you have to. Now for me, the question that I have is that how does then Shoki find a way to go and fetch her clothes? But did she even fetch her clothes? I'm just asking myself, I would wish to sit down with her, but the way she seems so peaceful, I wouldn't even want to try go and disturb her peace. But all I'm saying is that what Promise Makunyane came out to us and told us this is what happened, it's far from what this lady is actually saying. And I am so sorry, guys. I believe her more than I believe Promise. Because why? Promise believes on children should not get supported by their father. A child, it's fine for a child to not get supported by the father as long as when you had an issue with the mother. She then went on to speak so low of baby mamas and claimed, "Nah, my wife. Hey, baby mama this, baby mama that." Meanwhile, guys, like literally, this woman, she never slept with anyone's husband. That guy was single. I wonder what they even say in him, but we're not even going to get into that. But this part really honestly broke my heart. Or how can you be this evil? Like, what? So it wasn't just Hakamatrokis on the internet. You were really evenly, in an evil way, Hakamatrokising a child. How was Swaba? When I tell you that this girl is not a girl's girl, I'm not even joking. It's not a joke. Like, she has proved time and time again. She's not a girl's girl, promise. She's not. Honestly, she's not. And okay, that is fine. I mean, I'm sure she's not even interested. But you can actually just see. My thing that I'll also say is that if you are a man out there and you have got children and you don't support them and you do have the means to, may every single you touch turn into dust. May you suffer to a point where no matter where you go, nothing will ever go right. May you be cursed forever until you get to a point where you can support your own children. That's my wish for you. If you are a wife and you support your man not supporting his children, may you also be cursed as well. May you suffer the same fate. May nothing of yours ever go well. You cannot sit and wish good for your children, but you wish bad for another child simply because that child belongs to another woman and belongs to your husband. That's rubbish. And if you're a woman that stays with a cheating man, always be willing that, okay, at any time, money from this family will have to go out and support a child out there, because guess what? Cheating involves amapipi, guys. And ama private parts, when they meet, a baby can be formed. So that is a very high possibility, or there will be a child that comes out. Now, the ones that you even meet when you get married, they're already there. Like, that one is not even a conversation we have to have. Everybody knows that those kids were there before you. They need to be supported. We're not talking about the ones that will even be done in your marriage. For as long as you sit and you stay in that marriage, it means you are accepting that child. It's a fact. It should be like that. It's not even questionable. The moment he has a child out there, they are now a package combo. Okay, now we have a child out there that we need to support. And let me tell you another thing, guys. I don't condone, everybody knows this, I don't condone you guys going out there and sleeping with married men and having children with married men, like just cheating with people's husbands. Like, personally, something that I do not condone. I think that you guys know me. What I'm simply also going to say is that if you have a child with a man, because some of these men are so evil that they will run everything through their wives. And they are married, especially in community of property. And the husband claims he doesn't have money. They check the installments, the whatever they see, okay, fine, his accounts don't have money. Sue the wife for child support. Take her to court for her to support your child. Especially if she married him knowing you have got the kids. The ones that you guys want to now make children with people's husbands, Aishem, you're on your own there. Not that I'm saying these children should not be supported. They should be supported. But all I'm simply saying is that Liwena, like, respect yourself. Stay out of people's marriages. Stay out of people's marriages. That's what I'm going to say. But even you as a wife, if your husband comes back with a child and you say, you are staying, you are accepting that child. That child should also be supported. So yeah, when I saw this interview, guys, and I was just sitting and listening and going through what she was saying, I was like, wait a minute, like, this sounds like day and night from the story that Promise has been going out here and talking about. She contradicts herself. In the same video, she said, you can ask this woman, Uri, what has Promise ever done to her? Even one thing, she won't say. That's why she's not even saying anything, something to that effect. But in the same video, she then goes on to say, the time that Nerirukhana Esbanyana, I said Hakamatrokis. So you don't think Uri saying Hakamatrokis to her is something that she can come and say, actually, she said Hakamatrokis to me, and my child was not even being supported. Like, my child was not supported for a full year. That's something that she can literally say. But you guys, I'm really, really shocked. Because what happened to this poor woman can happen to anyone. Imagine having a boyfriend. You guys moving in. You guys thinking, you actually think we are building a family. You guys are even looking at houses. Next thing, he gets back together with his very loud, disrespectful ex, who makes it a point that it is public and everybody knows, who then goes on to make sure that she insults you on the internet years later of something that she suspects. Because I doubt she got a confirmation from Queen Lee, and I doubt she got a confirmation from this lady. So I will assume that it's either somebody told her or she just assumed, which again, this was not a secret. It was public knowledge. So anybody could have come with information. But she made sure that she now got her time to publicly shame her and disrespect her husband's child in front of everyone. And people were sitting there being like, yeah, what? And I remember in one of my videos that I posted last week, there was a comment that said, well, on this one, I stand with Promise, not a child that is from outside here, what. And I'm just like, the reason for some of you guys to say such things is because you worship men. You worship men so much that men in your eyes can never do wrong. Let me go ahead and bust your bubble. Do you know the process of making a child? Do you know? Do you know that it includes taking clothes off? Do you know it includes his manhood having to get hard? Do you know it includes him having to know the direction and put it where it needs to put it? Do you know it takes you sometimes, because I know that those that, the protection bars and stuff, but sometimes not even having to put the protection. For him to come inside, he knows exactly what he's doing, Lala. He's not an innocent player here. He wasn't seduced. He wanted it. High chances are it's even him that went after it. And high chances are it wasn't a once-off thing. It wasn't a one-time thing. He's been. But you will take the husband back. But you can't say that child also needs to be supported because that child belongs to this household. We're not saying take the kids. But all I'm simply saying is that money has to leave this house now and go support that child that is out there. Because some of you guys will be like, hey, she will see what to do. She will But you never ever want to hold your own husband accountable. Your snake is in your bed. You guys think men are just objects that can be moved from here and put there and brought back and do this. Men are smarter than how you guys think. And the moment he sees the type of person that you are, every time he messes up, you will forever be fighting with other women for the same person. Because you will never fight him. Why? Because he's innocent. But I wish that Promise actually just spoke the truth. We're not saying don't share your story. When you're sharing your story, you went to him, no mudirela ewo, and you did it. And you married him, and that's fine. But now why do you have to come and lie? Okay, your husband told you that, I don't know whose child this is. You believed it, sharp. But then why didn't you also then tell us, okay, but anyway, a DNA was done and the child belongs to him? because you knew that that would not be a positive light for you. So that's why you made sure you omitted those parts and you put the parts that you wanted so that you can put this woman in a different light. That's wrong. That is so wrong. And you're so vile. Very vile. In my opinion. That is like that for me, that is there's no for you to see a child and wish horrible on a child, like, I fear those people. That level of evil. Like, I don't care what it is, guys. You can be somebody that I don't like. But when it comes to kids, there's no way, like, how do you not like a child? And I know there's some people that will be like, oh, it's because that is not your when you've not experienced this or blah blah blah. I would rather leave the man so that I don't have to deal with the situation. Sure, because I'm sure the child, it would be painful to see the child and all that. If I see that I won't be okay with the child being supported from my money as well, or my household money, I will leave him, because first of all, I will hold him accountable. He went out there and made a child. I would leave him so that he can support his kid and everything. But I would never be one to say, you will not support that child, or we will not support that child. That can never ever be me. I don't have an evil heart. Nah. I don't. And oh, you have a child or you don't have a child, guy. Clearly, those that are child free, because those that have children are the ones that are preaching this rubbish. This venom. We can't have it go and fly like that. No, it must be met with a pushback. Uri, that's wrong. It is very, very wrong. If you are a woman who you refuse your husband to support his outside children, you're an evil woman. If you have an issue with that, you are very evil. And you're a very selfish individual. Very selfish. Very selfish. But anyway, go ahead and comment down below what you guys think of this whole situation. Honestly, that was my take on this. I mean, even when she said Hagamatrogis, I thought, maybe she's just trying to be dramatic for the internet. But I didn't actually think a girl actually was in that household for a full year, eating with her children, doing this, doing that. Meanwhile, a child out there is not being supported by her father. And you're so proud and so bold to even come on the internet and say it. And I honestly do believe that if she didn't take him to maintenance court, he probably would still not be supporting. Or maybe he would have started now, because we hear when you think you're special, life will show you you're not. When you think you've won a prize, Kandi dololo. Kandi dololo. And I think what the craziest part about this whole thing is that, of course, she considered herself a wife, that even if she was to get divorced, she would be an ex-wife, not a baby mama, right? Like, she's a baby mama, she would be an ex-wife. But all that doesn't matter. If that man goes and remarries another woman, and that woman actually says, listen, if you need anything from Ubaba, you come through. Now she will actually say, Uri, there's not really much of a difference between her and the baby mama. Like, the only thing is that she has a divorce certificate. That's it. If obviously the rumors are true. But I think, Uri, that's how life is. It has a way of putting you where you think others are, and it will show you pudra. Do I just say relax? Because in all honesty, if that man goes and remarries, since he's saying no, that's not his wife. If he goes and remarries another woman, and that woman is like all baby mamas, because Angiri now she would be like baby mama number 3, only she's an ex-wife, they say, if everything being said is the truth. But if he's to get a wife now, and the wife says, all baby mamas, child support, comes through me. Like his other two baby mamas, she would also have to be following the same route. She wouldn't have special treatment of, oh, when because you're an ex-wife, you go to your ex-husband on the corner. And this man, from how she described, he seems like Shem. He's easily swayed. He seems like if a new wife says, oh, baby mamas, everything that has to do with child support, it will come from me, he would be like, yes. That's the type of person that he comes off as to me from all the stories that I'm actually hearing here. She would realize that actually that whole that she was saying on the internet on some, hey baby mama, I'm an ex-wife, I'm what, it really honestly doesn't matter, because she will still be in the same queue with the other baby mamas when it comes to supporting children. If the new wife comes and says that. But I think that one of the most important things is that I know people don't believe in karma. I truly do believe in karma. Karma knows everyone's address. The only issue is that some people face karma in private and others face it in public. The humiliation comes privately or it comes publicly. But God has seen flames in that marriage of hers. She has said it herself. Sorry, she has. So, for me, wow, I just can't imagine. But anyway, you can go and watch the full episode if you obviously understand the language, and then come back and comment and tell me, like, what was your perception of that episode? Because when I watched that episode, it really just broke my heart, you know, because she seems so soft-spoken. She seems like someone that not even once did you hear her say, you know, I went and I fought him. I went and I smashed his windows. I went and I broke his arm. I went and I did this. She never, like never. She seems like she was just someone that just took the punches and rolled with them. And it's so sad that she would even be dragged online. We knew of her before I even saw her face, of the things that were being said about her. Meanwhile, she's sitting there with my husband this, my husband that. I have seen foolishness, but to this level, in my opinion, like, wow. Anyway, go ahead and comment down below what you guys think of this whole situation. From Owamie, I love you guys. Stay blessed. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next upload. Bye, ninjas.